December 8th. We're out here for a late muzzleloader hunt with the 450 in hand. It's me and my brother, and I've already tagged out a deer on my buck, so we're actually going to tag team it. If a good buck comes out, we're going to have him pull the trigger, and if a doe comes out, which I'm hoping for a doe, I'm going to hopefully tag it with a 450.
With the new CWD area rules, limited firearms are legal in our area, so Mike would be using the 450 Bushmaster sporting rifle, but plans were about to change.
We just spotted a buck laying down about 100 yards, maybe even 75 yards away. Looks like a pretty nice one. I wasn't expecting that. I'm hoping he'll stand up and we'll get a good look at him, but he looks like a pretty nice buck. We'll see.
After watching the buck for a half hour or so, he decided to get up and give me a better look at him. Something didn't look quite right.
That's a good buck, Gabe. You want it? Yep. You want it? Yes. I'm on him. Perfect. I'm walking right there. Let's let him go. That's a good buck, Gabe. He might bed down right there. Yep, he's bed down.
Well, it's probably been about a half an hour. We're still watching this buck. He's laying down. He got up one time and he moved about 10 yards and that's it. We think he's hurt. I got a bunch of trail cam pictures of this buck, so I didn't know him at first, but once he stood up and I got a good look at him, I know this buck. Our wind is going right that way, and he doesn't even care. And there's a doe that's blowing on the other side of him, and he's not even hardly looking at her. So I'm thinking this deer is hurt. But I've been sitting here for this long. My gun's ready. Mike's ready on the camera, and I'm kind of waiting for him to stand up. I could probably shoot him right now. I have an open shot at him, but if he stood up, I've got an even better shot. I want to see how he's hurt first, too.
We had been watching him for almost 2 hours when we decided to see if we could get him to stand up so we could get a better look at his injury. I would be ready on the gun, and my brother Mike would call to him while videotaping, and we would see how the buck responded. When we couldn't get him to stand up, it made up my mind that he was hurting from something. I decided to use my last buck tag on him if I could thread the needle and make the shot.
You got him. I think he's down. Yeah. Half was awesome. Holy cow. I'm telling you, that was the most odd hunt I've ever had. We've been sitting here over an hour and a half watching this buck, and he probably moved 8 yards, 7 or 8 yards. I mean, that's all he moved the whole time we saw him. I'm afraid he's wounded. I think he's got something wrong. He was real hunched up when he moved that first time. We've been just watching him. We tried to get him to stand up, tried grunting at him, tried whistling at him. He would not stand up again. So I decided to shoot him right there, and being I have the 450, made the shot. That was awesome.
Well, as we got out of the blind, something happened to the microphone on the camera, and we lost the audio on the recovery. The buck turned out to be severely emaciated. His backbone stuck out, and his rear end was atrophied to the point I was surprised he could even stand at all. While tagging him, one of his antlers even popped off. From what we could tell, his 2 front hooves were swollen, and infection had taken over and moved up his legs and probably into his bloodstream. It was a sad end to a nice buck, but I was happy to end his misery quickly. That evening, we decided to try another spot where does were coming out into a plowed cornfield. Mike was again using my AR with a 450 upper.
Tonight we're going to be hunting with an AR-15. It's a Spikes tactical lower. It's a 450 Bushmaster upper, a Vanguard tactical scope on the top. So I replaced the grip and the butt with a Boyds stock. That's kind of cool. It's a lime green looking, so it kind of stands out, but should be fun tonight. We've got a good spot here.
We had a few come out and never could get on the same page on the right one. A couple of them boogered and went back in. Long story short, we got set up on this tree a little bit closer, and sure enough, here they come back out. And finally got on the same page, picked a good, nice doe, and just smoked her with the 450. That was awesome. Man, that was a fun hunt. It's been 3 years since me and him have hunted together. Hunted together this morning, had a buck come out. He took it. Come out here tonight on a doe mission. I'm tagged out on bucks, so a whole group of them came out. They went back in, and when they went to come back out just before that, we ended up making a move, getting 20 yards closer. Got up here, they came right out. Smoked her with the 450. She only ran about 80 yards and dropped, so a little bit of venison.
Talk about a great day of hunting. Not too often you can tag 2 nice deer on camera in one day. It's always nice to spend a little time in the deer woods with my brother.